This morning brought some of the coldest temperatures we've seen in about 7 months. It was early April the last time we got this low. This is the lows from this morning, low 20s across the majority of the state line. Rockford down to 22 degrees. Thankfully, the wind was really light, so we didn't see much for wind chill, but still awfully brisk start to the day, and we could be right back into that territory later tonight. Only managed to warm up to around 40 degrees across a lot of the state line. That afternoon cloud cover helped keep temperatures from rising much more than where we see them sit right now. Because of the cloud cover, the air is not cooling off quite as rapidly, so we'll hover around 40 over the next couple hours and then dip down into the 30s from there. Keep in mind, later this evening, if you're going to be out and about, plan on freezing temperatures after about 8 o'clock. So definitely getting brisk later tonight, even though we're not dropping too rapidly across the state line. We'll hold on to that partly cloudy sky throughout the remainder of the night, as well as into early tomorrow morning. 26 coming for the overnight low, so we're slightly warmer than where we were as of last night, but still, this is well below average, so the cold weather continues. Now keep in mind, the increasing clouds could bring a little side effect with them. Let's take a look at FUTURETRACKS, which is not something we've had to mention for a little while as the weather stayed dry. That may not be the case in the morning. So here's FUTURETRACKS. You can see that throughout the night we have cloud cover streaming in, and FUTURETRACKS is hinting at some spotty sprinkles. Emphasis here on sprinkles. If we're going to see any precipitation, it's going to be extremely light, but don't be surprised if you see some patches of drizzle going into tomorrow morning. And because the air is so cold, may see a snowflake or two mix on in. Now, we're not even going to see any dustings or accumulations out of this. It would be one or two that would be floating around in the sky, but don't be completely shocked if you happen to see a couple flurries early tomorrow morning. I think by the afternoon, a lot of this precipitation is out. We clear out throughout the rest of the day. So we're going to call it a slight chance for morning sprinkles. I think a lot of you are going to stay cloudy and dry, but again, keep in mind, maybe just slightly drizzly in the morning for a brief amount of time or two. And again, because the air is cold enough, may see a flurry or two mix in with those spotty drizzly conditions. For the most part, again, a lot of us are going to stay cloudy and dry, but just wanted to make sure that you're aware that that could be floating around a little bit in the morning. By the afternoon, clearing out, temperatures approaching 50 degrees, and from there, we warm up dramatically. We get back up to about 10 degrees above average by the end of the weekend and early next week, so the 60s are around the corner after one more cool day, which could get us back above average for the month. That's been a trend lately. Last 2 months in a row have been in the top 10 warmest, and that's something we're going to deal with climate change. You can see over the last decade, we've had dramatically more top 10 months, as in, like we saw last month, it was 6th warmest on record. The month before that was in the top 10 warmest on record. So we may continue to see our climate rapidly warm up with a lot more in the way of these top 10 months moving forward as climate change continues. So even though we've got a cold start to the month, it doesn't mean that heat goes away for very long. We've got it right back into the weekend and early next week. In your most accurate 10-day forecast, after dry and warmer conditions, we do cool back off again. Those 40s are back late next week, and that's about when we start to see some rain showers mix back into the forecast, Brittany.
Alex, thanks for that.